Hey guys, getting really up close and personal with you because really and truly I just don't want people to see that I'm recording a video in the library because my head is blocking the window from the door to the study room. But yeah, I'm also getting really close because I'm gonna tell you about my feelings. um, so this video is gonna be a little different because I'm not gonna be talking about fashion or makeup or beauty or anything like that. I'm going to be talking about school. Um, yeah, my channel is called The Cheap Chic Geek, so I figured I'd talk about the geek part. um, so, for those of you that don't know, I am in my third year of law school. Um, and if you were to ask me about how I like law school, I would say I don't. um, I think that's terrible because I really do appreciate what law school has done for me. I feel that it has made me a more confident person. It has pushed me, like, sort of bullied me out of my comfort zone in a way. It's forced me to learn how to be articulate on the spot. It's forced me to prepare for those situations where I know that my nerves will completely take over and I'll just freeze up and won't be able to speak. It's taught me how to network with strangers, which is something that I feel totally uncomfortable with, and I feel that most people do. Yeah, but it's taught me to do that. It's put me in settings where I would have nowhere to hide, and I would just have to do it or die, basically. Um, so, yeah, I really do appreciate what law school has done and is doing for me, but law school is fucking hard. I have to say. Um, I feel like it's not so much the work of law school that makes it difficult, at least for me. I feel like if I had the same reading assignments and was just tested on these things, I would be fine. Because I understand the basic, the concepts, the tests, the cases, arguments. I understand that. Um, but what gets me is not just having to know everything that you're reading and understand it, but like having that being the lowest level of things that you need to get done in law school, and then the second level being um, having to be completely ready to be impressingly articulate in what you read the next morning at like 8 o'clock, um, and having to sort of be ready like that for all of your classes every day. That completely fucking terrifies me. I don't understand how a person can be that ready to just discuss 50 pages of reading per class and like sometimes even more, and to be able to do that in an educated way, in an articulate way. Like, that just blows my mind. And I think the fact that it blows my mind is scary to me because now I'm realizing that um, I think people go into law school knowing that they're good at that, and therefore that doesn't scare them. Like, this constant having to be ready and having to think on your feet, having to know your material like that every day, it just doesn't scare them because they knew that that's what they were going into. Whereas me, I knew that I was good at that because I did mock trial. I took classes where I had to speak on the spot, and I was good at it. And I was a performer, and I was okay with being in front of people. But I feel like those moments happened in doses, and so I had preparation. I had time to kind of make myself comfortable. And I feel like the people that I was performing in front of or speaking in front of were not judgmental at all as to what was coming out of my mouth. I think that's something that's very different from undergrad and law school. Um, but yeah, I'm just not that type of person. I am shy. I'm very introverted, although I come off as extroverted. And I think that and everything makes law school very, very difficult for me, very emotionally difficult. Um, I'm constantly kind of beating myself up if I am not able to articulate myself well, and that happens a lot. And it's not because I don't understand material, but it's just because I think I let people's thoughts get to me. I overanalyze a lot. I don't know. I care too much about what people think, and you cannot be in law school if you care too much about what other people think. So I don't know. I'm just rambling, but I'm just saying that law school is really difficult for me right now. And it doesn't help that I'm taking up like anything and everything that I could in my last year merely because I'm sort of terrified about finishing. I guess I kind of rested in the comfort of like having another year to go or having a couple of months to go before I have to face the real world and like find a legal job. And I think it's scary because I feel like having a JD will help me career-wise in the sense that it will look appealing in many different fields, but I think there's a lot of pressure in having to practice law. There are a lot of people that graduate and use their JD in something totally unrelated or something that's legal adjacent, but they're not, going to court and they're not meeting with clients, like they're not doing traditional legal things. But I almost feel like people would judge me if I took that route. People would judge me because of the finances that go with law school. Maybe they would think that the training was a waste. Like, I don't know, there's a list of things that I feel like people would think, and see, that goes to the fact that I overthink and I overanalyze and I care too much about what people think, but this is just a whole mess of my feelings. But basically, I really just needed this video to vent that out, and I wanted to be real, and I wanted to show people, whoever's watching this, that if anything at all, you are not alone. I feel like I might have said this in my self-esteem video as well, but I think that's really important. I feel like people in law school or anyone pursuing like a higher degree, I feel like sometimes we're pressured to kind of act like we're okay, like everything's just fine. The constant deadlines and the big lumps of information that we have to force into ourselves. That's what she said. But like the demand that's placed on us is just so crazy, and I think we have to act like it's not. Not just in front of our friends and family who ask here and there, but in front of our peers, in front of the people that we go to school with, the people in our classes. We don't want to look weak, so we just have to, kind of put on this face and kind of like hold our hands under the table to calm our nerves in that 1 second before we are asked a question. And I think that's very trying. That's very, very trying on a person. And if you don't find people that will support you, if you tell them how you really feel about the pressure, or if you don't find other outlets like this, or music or fashion or photography or anything, I think it can be extremely overwhelming and unhealthy, and that's scary. So this is just to everyone who feels overwhelmed. Every grad student, every undergrad student, every parent. I'm sure no parents are watching this. Nobody's watching this. But to anybody that feels overwhelmed, you are not alone. And I firmly believe in the phrase that God doesn't give you anything that you can't handle. I've probably said that in another video or something, but I really do believe it's true. I think people argue that you kind of try things out, or you're placed in a certain situation so that you can figure out whether or not it's for you. And I guess some would argue that, like, if you feel like this is not for you, you can just leave, you can just not stop going to school. But I think there's something to the fact that sometimes you're not just given an opportunity, but you're also given the strength to get through. And that's what helps me get through law school. Like, the times when I want to give up, I just look back at the fact that even though I felt terrible about law school, even though it takes, like, everything out of me, I was able to get through 2 years of it. The first year, I felt like a fish out of water. I came straight from undergrad. I had no idea really what law school was going to be like. It was just this goal that I set for myself when I was little, and I'm stubborn, so I have to stick to my goals. I have to stick to what I say that I'm going to do, and I just did it. I went in not really knowing about the different fields of law, not knowing what I wanted to do, not really having a plan, just kind of knowing that I was interested in certain types of things and I wanted to make money and I wanted to be in a respectful career. But besides that, I didn't know anything about law school. I didn't know anything about the law. But I feel like the fact that I was able to get through regardless, and I was able to jump through all the hurdles that have come at me these past 2 years, I felt like that says something about my goal and the way, the path that life is leading me on. I feel like it's a sign that I'm going in the right direction, and I hope that you also find that it's a sign for you that you're doing something right. So if you're going to take anything away from this video, just know that you're not alone. You're in your struggle for a reason, and you should really just trust your struggle. Own it. It's yours. And maybe you could, like, memorialize the hardships, the struggles. Like, this is what I'm doing right now. I'm recording how I feel about it, so that when I graduate, I could look back at this video and be like, wow, I was really struggling through it. I really had to work hard to get to where I am, but I'm here, and it's great. So, do what you gotta do to get through. Make stupid videos like this in the library, or go write a song, or go watch Netflix. Do whatever you gotta do in conjunction with your schoolwork and your academics. Just stay happy, try to stay positive, and when you're not happy, distract yourself for a little bit. It's totally fine. But yeah, thanks for listening, world. I needed it. Yeah, hope you have a good day. I'll try to upload more frequently. But if you have any questions about law school, about anything, how to stay positive, how to get through, I don't know if I can help you there. But I can tell you guys what I do to try to get through. But yeah, alright, I will see you guys later.